Hi crafty friends, I am back with a process video. This is for the Hip Kit Club design team, and this is my first project using the September kits. And my assignment for today's video was product focus, and so I did a lot of work for this layout off camera. I figured for the product focus, I would focus on the stamp and die cut. That's stamp and die cut set that's in the color kit. It's by Vicky Booten. It's with the Field Notes collection, and it features a few flower stamps and then coordinating dies to cut the flowers out. And I figured it'd be fun to play with those dies as well as some of the papers that are in the main kit and the cardstock kit. So that's my product focus. So I pulled out this Maggie Holmes background paper, and then I spent I want to say maybe 45 minutes to an hour stamping and die cutting all these flowers. And I used the two, if you can see the stamp set there. I used the two larger flower stamps. There's a third stamp that's a little bit smaller, but for my idea, I figured I'd go with the larger ones. And what you saw me do is what I do a lot. I just take a picture of my layout when I figure out how I want it to look, and I almost never can recreate it exactly the way it is. But I try to take that picture because if I really like the way it looks, I try to get it as close as possible to that first look when I finally get my final layout together. Now, what I was trying to do was actually glue all my flowers together and have them be one huge piece so that I can pick them up off the page and not have to make the whole design again, but that didn't work. And so I just went back to basics and started over. So my plan here was to use some gesso for the background. So see, here's my picture. I pulled it up so I know how to place my gesso. And I wanted to place gesso to kind of mute out the pattern of the background and kind of white it out a little bit so that it's a little bit softer. And so I applied the gesso with both my fingers and with that old Target gift card. That's my paint card. It has been covered in acrylic paint and gesso and a bunch of different things, but I keep it on my desk just for swiping out paint. It doesn't do anything but spread out paint. And now I'm going to glue my flowers back down. And so I have my photo out kind of as a reference photo, and it doesn't come out exactly the way it was before, but it does get pretty close. And so I edit a lot of this out because it's just me gluing down flowers and me trying to recreate that initial shape I had, and also working with the shape that I got from applying the gesso to the page. And if you notice, what I did was kind of scoot my flowers a little bit to the left side because my photos were going on the right, and I figured there was no sense in putting, all those beautiful flowers underneath my photo. So I skewed everything to the left side of the page, and then I have my photos on the right. And what I did off camera, and I'm kind of proud of myself, was I added some machine stitching as a border. Now, one of my fellow design team members, her name is Audrey, she has a video about machine stitching for paper crafters, and I watched it and I was like, okay, this works, I could do this. And I machine stitched the border. I used two different threads. I used a lavender thread and a aqua colored thread because those are two colors that appeared in my flowers, and I really like the little bit of texture it gives. Now, it's very wonky stitching, it's not straight at all, but I really like that. So now going back to the layout, I pulled out some of the papers that are in the main kit, and the kits this month are full of Pink Fresh Studios Indigo Hills, and you can't really see in the flowers now, but you'll see in the detail shots that not only did I use some cardstock from the cardstock kit, but I also used some papers from the main kit, and if you have the paper add-on, then you have twice the papers. So I used the patina and the sunbeam and the wisteria from the cardstock kit, and then I pulled out a few of the Pink Fresh papers that didn't have a super busy background pattern. Some of them are like that really soft gray pattern that I'm matting my photo with. There was another one that had like coral and gray ink swatches, and so that's what I use to create my flowers. And I really like the mix of colors in the flowers. I think it's a really good representation of all the colors in the main kits in the hip kit this month. And I love the purple. I'm not really a purple fan. I'm going to be 100% honest. Purple is a really hard color for me to scrap, but I really like the purple. Now, what you saw me pull out was the washi, and the washi was in the embellishment add-on kit. It's a Maggie Holmes washi from Willow Lane, and again, it's in the embellishment add-on kit. And I decided to do a little bit of a border for my photo. Not really a border, but more of a place for my photo to rest. And I ended up having to glue this washi down because I put gesso all over my paper. And if you've ever done any kind of mixed media, you know that gesso and general stickers don't really work. Like you can't, like regular stickers won't stick down on gesso and puffy stickers and chipboard. And so I just ended up adding a tiny dab of glue at the end of my washi strips, and then they stick down so much better that way. So while you're watching me put down some strips of washi, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about my photo. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've known that I've started working out again. I've joined a CrossFit gym, and every time I say that, people look at me like, you do what? But I've joined a CrossFit gym, and my first week of CrossFit, every day I just took a picture of my sneakers. I had different sneakers, different workout pants, and I was just doing this like from where I stand thing. And then I would share something on Instagram about like my workout for that day. And I figured these photos worked really well with the color scheme that I wanted to use, and it was a story I wanted to tell. And I did my journaling on the back side of this layout. That's what I've started doing. Amanda from the Art Days, she said that she does her journaling on the back of her layouts, and I really like that idea because I can't ever figure out where to put my journaling where it's not interfering with the rest of my page. And so I've just started doing my journaling on the back side. Now what you see me doing here is pulling out die cuts from the Indigo Hills die cut pack, and this is part of the die cut pack was in the main kit. So if you purchase the main kit, then you would have that die cut pack. And then those are the Maggie Holmes bows. And I want to say those were in the embellishment. No, those were in the main kit also. And this chipboard from Pink Fresh Indigo Hills, that was in the embellishment kit. And I love this chipboard set. It has so many like picture frames and shapes that are designed to like frame other pieces, and I thought it would be really cool to use one of those. So I grabbed this oval one, and it was blue to purple blurple colored ombre situation, which really worked with the colors in my flowers, and it worked in the colors in my photo. So I glue my photos together because I kept getting tired of having to pick up my photos and fuss around with them. But I glue my pictures to each other, kind of situate them the way I want them. I matted them on vellum, which you saw, and that Pink Fresh gray paper. And then I grabbed a die cut that says lead with your heart, which kind of doesn't really fit because this is a picture of my feet, but my heart led me back to the gym. I wanted to do something to get more healthy and to be more fit, and so I thought that die cut was appropriate. It was also yellow and blue, which again work with the colors that I have in my flowers. And I thought it was really fun to do this like product focused layout because that's not really what when I work with on a page, I tend to just grab things and throw them. Like there's never really a plan for me or like a scheme or a sketch. I very rarely scrap with the sketch. So this whole, start with a product and focus on a product was a really fun challenge for me. I would also definitely do this layout again with this huge flower cluster and then work on it in a different way. So if you are a Hip Kit subscriber and you did pick up the color kit this month, I challenge you to do something similar. I challenge you to die cut a bunch of flowers and keep your embellishment really, really minimal and just let the flowers do all the talking. Now, if you notice here, I have my floral cluster is the main element of my page, and then my photo cluster is actually really small compared to it. There's probably 3 embellishments on my photos, which if you've seen me scrap or you've seen those, that's not really what I do. I do a whole lot more embellishing most of the time. So I'm putting down my photo. I backed it on foam because I just like the dimension that foam gives you. So I backed my photo on foam. And now I'm just working on, again, filling out my cluster. I grabbed one of those bows from the Willow Lane bow pack because I just liked the way it looked and I thought a pop of pink would be cute because I have the coral paper and I didn't have any other pink embellishments to tie the coral paper to the rest of my page. Those little flower die cuts are from the Indigo Hills paper pack. After that, there's just minimal embellishing. I grab my title from the puffy sticker pack from American Crafts, and my title is The Simple Things because there's nothing, I didn't think any other title would be appropriate. And when I saw that The Simple Things die cuts, I thought it was the perfect title for the page. So I keep looking for things to add because I am a little bit embellishment crazy. I don't really know when to call it quits. I do grab that peach sticker off the chipboard sticker sheet. And I'm going to look at the picture just so I know exactly what it says because I don't want to lie to you. It says happiness begins here. There we go. I had to actually pull up my layout so I know what it said. I filmed this so long ago and then I'm doing the voiceover so many days later. And that's normally not like me. Normally I film the layouts and I do the voiceover immediately. And I think I'm going to go back to doing things right away because this whole playing catch up thing is really, really difficult. So again, I'm sticking on some of those flowers from the die cut pack. And then I grabbed 2 hearts from the chipboard sheet. One is a blue on white floral and one's a mint green kind of turquoise floral. And now I'm pulling out my title. Like I said, the title of my layout is, oh, it's Love the Simple Things. I'm sorry. I use a heart sticker in front of the simple things. And what I'm doing is gluing down those puffy stickers because, like I said, nothing sticks to gesso. And so I add a little bit of the Scotch tacky glue in my fine line bottle before I stick down my title. And then after that, that's it. That's the end of the layout. So I'm going to put some music on so you can watch the layout finish. There will be still photos after the break as usual. And then if you want to hang out more, there'll be more layouts if you want to, more videos if you want to hang out further with me. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And, feel free to keep watching. As always, keep it crafty, friends, and have a great day.